Hey guys, Joe Kirk here, Valley and Ridge Outdoors, and today we're going to be doing a little video on how to find bass on a new lake or maybe even the lake that you already live on. So first things first, I like to use two things, sometimes three things, depending on the lake and how much ground I have to cover. So first things first, I'm going to use a map. Now, I'm not talking about electronic map. You can. There's nothing wrong with that. But a paper map is, in my words and thoughts, the best thing to have on a boat or anywhere. Just in case your electronics take a crap or anything, you always have paper. So, this will give you all the contours in most boat ramps, some docks, it all depends. Stump patches, pretty much the whole 9 yards of a regular lake. Then, a smartphone or a computer. Now, reason why I like to have a smartphone is because I can use Google Maps and actually look at the same lake, but in fact I'm looking at docks, I'm looking at bridges that might not show on there. There might be visible trees from the water. Stuff like that will help me look at this a lot better. Also, you can mark areas on your map with areas on Google Maps and also measure distances. That way, if you're going out for an all-day thing, you can measure your distances to your different spots and almost the entire river if you want to, and figure out how far you might be running just in case. So, let's go ahead and get into the book. We're going to start off going from a big lake. We'll start in Dale Hollow Lake. So it's a big lake, and it is current related, but let's think of it as not a current related lake. Let's just make it like a regular lake. Maybe a few creeks coming in, maybe a few creeks coming out, whatever may be the case, but there's no dam on either end of this lake. Just think of it like that. Okay, so I'm going to turn the camera around here. Alright, so, see if we can get this thing to focus. Alright, so, what you see are contours. Alright, so now we're talking about a lake, right, that you cannot go through any locks. There's no dams, no current. Obviously, you can see a creek channel, though, running through here, but disregard that. Okay? So, every bass has the same pattern as far as where they're going to be in the summertime, where they're going to be in the wintertime, where they're going to be post-spawn and pre-spawn and spawn. So, this slough right here I have chosen because there is multiple points in it. So these are your main points, okay? And these back here are secondary points. So if this was the wintertime, the fish are going to be out deep in that thermal layer where it's nice, and it's still about, it might range from 50 to 60 degrees down deep. So the fish will move up to these main points and start feeding for the spawn. This is what we call post-spawn, or pre-spawn I meant to say. So as the fish move up shallower, they're going to hit these secondary points, which might be something as small as that right there. So all these secondary points they're going to be coming to. Then the next full moon, they're going to move up to spawn. So that being said, they're going to move up to the very, very back of these sloughs where it's nice and rocky and shallow and they can spawn. Any slough will be like that. Usually on a lake, you can go to any back of any slough and go to the very, very back of it and actually find fish bedding. Whether it's 10, it might be 1, it might be 2, you never know. But usually almost every slough has fish bedding in the back of it. But to pick out a slough in a lake that doesn't have a lot of current, this is the best way to fish. Best way to find fish, because if they're not in these patterns, usually they're going to be out deep. So, also, a lot of people don't understand this, but fish also follow the shad, because that's the main food source for a bass is shad in most lakes. Now some might be bluegill and so forth, so that might change. But if the shad come up to spawn, the bass usually will follow them or stay on one of these points and catch the shad coming in and out. So, that being said, that also might interfere with the bass spawn. Alright? But make sure you know what's spawning at that time so you know exactly what to fish for and where to fish for them. Okay? So now that we've got that down pat, I want to go to a river system, if I can find it. Alright, Nickajack Lake. It's more of a river, if you've ever been on it. A lot of current. A lot of current is rolling through here. So, when you come to a lake like this, or if you're looking at it from a map, it's always current. There's always current coming through here. So, that being said, you want to pick points that won't have current behind it. Maybe like that little point there, maybe these little ridges and stuff like this. This whole area right here won't have any current in it, because all the current will hit the outside edges of every turn. That's why you always see it deeper on the outside turn. So, that being said, it makes it very easy to fish areas like this that you've never been to before, because all you have to do is find places where there isn't current. Whether it's a bridge, whether it's a... I've actually fished this area up here. Now, if it'll zoom in, there is a bridge here and a bridge here. So you can't fish back in here, but you can fish these little coves right here. And there's bait fish coming out, there's bass coming in and out. So that's a great place to fish because it's a current break. You come up here, there's actually a bridge piling up in here somewhere. Of course, it won't show it on the map. That's why it's good to use Google Maps. That bridge piling is also a good thing to stop, that stops current. So these are all things that you want to look for. Now, let's go to Chickamauga Lake, which is my home lake. Alright, I'm not going to show you any of my good spots, but I'll show you some spots. Alright, so here is Chickamauga Lake. This is by Hiwassee Refuge. This is actually, let's keep going. Let's go to Chester Frost, or most people know Chester Frost because FLW was won on it not too long ago, a few years back. So as you can see, this lake here has a bunch of ledges on it and stuff. And if you look here, I don't know if it'll focus or not. It's pretty small. But as you can see here, there's a lot of contours on this lake. I mean, a lot. So the best thing you can do is to find places, because there is current in this lake still. But there's a lot of places where the fish can get out of it. That's what makes it hard. So the best thing that you can do is to get on the ledges, the main river ledges, and fish those edges that won't have current on them, or any big point, underwater points, anything like that, the fish will be getting bait from. They'll be hiding in there. And same as in here, you know, there's not a lot of current back in here, but it's a ledge and it's a place where they can grab bait fish from. So that's something to look at. Like I said, get you one of these maps and just study your lake, and it will help. I mean, this thing has like so many lakes in it. It's actually this whole entire section of Tennessee. So get you a map, you can get the section of your state, and I hope you guys have good luck with that. In other words, thanks for watching the video. Subscribe, hit the like button, and I actually just got the boat fixed up today, and it's ready to go out on the water. So look for more videos.